Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Monday morning and I hope you're having a really great day. Okay, so over the weekend, we lost a huge pioneer, not only for the Supreme Court, but also for women's rights, equality, and for all the different trailblazing work that Ruth Bader Ginsburg did. She lost her battle with cancer at the age of 87. She had been on the Supreme Court for so many years and had been instrumental in so many different legislation, so many different court rulings that allowed women access to being able to work, to body autonomy, to all these different aspects that have given women a place, along not only with women, but with the LGBTQ plus, with the civil rights. So many different aspects of her involvement in the Supreme Court has been instrumental in providing equality to so many different people. Now, with her passing, it was very, very heart-wrenching to most people. I don't want to get into the politics of it because there is this whole choice aspect, but what I thought was interesting was that a few different fundamentalists were speaking out in a way and supporting her and like sending condolences to the point where I was really surprised. First off, she has been someone that is considered more on the liberal spectrum, and she is also someone that has been a champion for the underprivileged. And as a result of that, has been all about providing for the underprivileged and providing access and improving equality. Typically, in the Supreme Court, this justice would be considered sort of a negative influence to the conservative agenda, which is in the fundamentalist world. I don't want to get into the controversial topic that most will get into, but I'll just say most conservatives do not like her because of everything with Roe versus Wade. Okay? Now, here's the interesting thing though. As I was scrolling through on everything on my Instagram, I saw that Christine Brown, yes, from Sister Wives, she posted something about Ruth Bader Ginsburg to the point that I was shocked. Christine, Kody, and the family are typically a very conservative family. Now, although they are very open and welcoming and understanding and accept their children that are part of the LGBTQ+, they also are very conservative and typically are siding with more of the Republican narrative because of their belief in being, you know, having the ability to live their life and their freedom of religion, okay? But Christine wrote on her Instagram, seriously, every time I stop to read about the life of Ruth Bader Ginsburg and the gift she was to our lives, I wonder who we can look up to now. I urge you all to read about this woman's life. May her memory be a blessing. Wow. She was a pioneer, and so many little girls have looked up to her. She's the first Jewish woman to serve on the Supreme Court, and she was an tireless advocate for gender equality. So she was very outspoken about helping other people, and she was very pro-choice. So what I find interesting about all of this is that her life was so inspired. She wanted to make women feel like they could be able to see themselves in any place within the government. In fact, she talked about how she would want one day to see that there would be 9 women on the Supreme Court because there had been 1.9 men on the Supreme Court and nobody thought it was weird. So her thing was like, why would it be weird then if it was 9 women, if we were okay with 9 men at one point? She has done and championed for so much that when I saw this by Christine, I was like taken aback, because in the polygamy world, women are not the mostly highly regarded in terms of their belief system. Like, the husbands are the priests of the family. The husbands are ones that control everything. The husbands are the ones that have, you know, it's through the husband that they get to have all these different wives, and the wives have to listen to the husband, and the husband is the priest, basically meaning the husband is the god of the family. And in the polygamy world, the mother, the woman, is basically just below the husband. So women don't have the same sense of equality as they do in these polygamist families. So when you start thinking about Christine looking up to Ruth, it makes me start to wonder, like, how much are Christine's political views and her views of the world changing with her children? Think of it this way. Her daughter Gwendolyn is an outspoken advocate for the LGBTQ plus. She is out as bi. She is also very outspoken about Black Lives Matters. You've got Mariah, same breath. She also made a comment about the passing of RBG. But I will preface this. I'm not surprised that Mariah would say this. She made it more political because she said, if you're still planning on voting for Trump this fall, get the F out. You don't belong here. You don't need to be in my headspace, invading my personhood with your neglect for human life. Trump is literally she got a little bit frisky there. But, you know, she said, for anyone asking, what are you talking about in the reference to my last post about voting like your life depends on it? If you've never had a Supreme Court case decide if you have the same rights as others, you have privilege. So a lot of people obviously are fearful with her passing because she was a liberal justice, that the next justice that will be placed would be put up as an appointment by Trump and that it would be conservative. So I don't want to speak to the logistics here, but obviously it has a lot of people very upset. But what I am interested in seeing is that Christine is starting to sort of echo some of the girls that are in her lives, Mariah and Gwendolyn. Now, these two women are very outspoken. They also are very supportive of one another. It's interesting because this is so different than the Christine that we saw years ago. In fact, it's making me realize that over the past 10 years that we have seen Christine Brown, she has evolved into a confident, a more assertive woman. Now, mind you, I hate that she does all these MLMs. And yes, I saw she's completely selling Unique now. Gross. And she's also promoting Live. Gross. And she also has LuLaRoe. Gross. Part of me tries to be empathetic because I know that in this world, they are not given a lot of education. They don't have a lot of opportunities. And in the cult that she grew up in, her grandfather was the sort of leader. There is all of these bloody hands that happen and all kinds of different very precarious things that happened. If you go into the history of the AUB, Christine has come from a long line of oppressed women. So part of it is, does she not know? She doesn't know any better to a point because these MLMs prey on these women in these organizations because they don't live, they're stuck at home, they want to provide for their families, and they somehow think that this is going to be the get-rich scheme. It's sad because so many of these MLMs are in Utah and founded by people that are part of these worlds. Not all, but a lot. And it's prevalent within these polygamous sects that they get into these MLMs. I've spoken to several people that are in or formerly left the AUB that have talked heavily about how the MLM scams are huge because everyone does it. Sad, right? So put that all aside and just sort of think about the evolution of Christine. It's amazing if you think about. Now she's up there saying Ruth Bader Ginsburg was an inspiration. Who do we look up to? Think of that. She was an independent, free-thinking woman. Who else do we look up to? Go Christine. And I really, really hope that this is her continued evolution and her evolving into, I don't know, I still feel like if any of the women are going to leave, it is going to be Christine and Mary. So tell me what your thoughts are. Are you surprised or not surprised by Christine supporting Ruth? And are you shocked to hear that she learned about her and looked up to her, given how liberal Ruth's life was? Bye, guys.